During this week in Pokemon GO, we are set to have one of the best in-game events that we've had in a long while, and we're also going to have access to a regional Pokemon through a raid day, which is only available to a very small portion of the world. I do think we need to talk about all of this, and I'm really excited to get into it, so yeah, let's talk about everything that's going to be happening this week in Pokemon GO. Hey, how's it going everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. Hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So this week is looking to be packed with a lot of really good content. If you're someone who enjoys Pokemon GO, I really do think this week is going to be one that's definitely going to be filled with a lot of pleasant surprises, and if you're a player who just started playing Pokemon GO and you're looking to get candies for Pokemon like Magikarp and Swablu, yeah, there's going to be an in-game event that's going to allow you to get just that. So yeah, I do think this week is going to be pretty packed. I do like all the content that Niantic has in store for us, and I do think we need to talk about all of it. It's definitely going to be a pretty good week. So let's start things off by talking about the Growing Up event, because this is definitely one you will want to pay attention to. There's a lot of really good things happening with this event. The Growing Up event is going to be happening on May 2nd at 10 o'clock a.m. and it's going to go until May 7th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. The Pokemon that are going to be featured for this event includes Magikarp, Swablu, and Wimpod, and all of them are going to have an increased shiny chance. Now during this event, these are going to be the wild encounters. You're going to see Magikarp, Wailmer, Swablu, Fungus, Dedenne, Cutiefly, Wimpod, Rookidee, as well as Nimble. And just so you know, all of these Pokemon except for Rookidee can be shiny, and Magikarp, Swablu, and Wimpod are going to have an increased shiny chance. Something noteworthy regarding these wild spawns is that Magikarp, Wailmer, and Swablu do require an insane amount of candy for you to evolve them. So if you still do not have their evolved forms as Pokedex entries, this is definitely going to be a solid event for you to get the candies for getting these Pokemon evolved. And then on top of that, Rookidee is going to be a wild spawn that is definitely noteworthy, considering that this Pokemon was once only available through premium content, but now it is actually going to be a wild spawn. And I totally am aware that before this event, Rookidee was already appearing in the wild, but I do like the fact that it is actually a part of this event, and we should start seeing a lot more of them. Now, when it comes to hatching eggs, you're going to be able to get Happiny, Riolu, Wimpod, Mime Jr., and Toxel, and then for every single one of these Pokemon, you could potentially get their shiny forms as well. Considering that Mime Jr. is a regional hatch that you do not often see as part of the egg pool, this is a great opportunity for you to get this regional Pokemon, so make sure you hatch a bunch of 5km eggs during this event. Do not miss out on this Pokemon. It's actually quite rare that we ever see Mime Jr. as a worldwide encounter. But next up, let's talk about the event bonuses. You're going to get double the amount of experience when you evolve Pokemon, double the amount of candy when you hatch Pokemon, and then you're going to have an increased chance to get shiny Wimpod from hatching eggs, and an increased chance to get shiny Magikarp, shiny Swablu, and shiny Wimpod in the wild, and then you're also going to have an increased chance to encounter XXS and XXL Pokemon in the wild. Now with this event, it's actually going to be coinciding with Children's Day over in Japan and Korea. Over there, they're going to have access to some exclusive bonuses. Between May 4th at 10 o'clock a.m. local time until May 5th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time, players in Japan and Korea are going to get double the amount of Stardust when they catch Pokemon. Every egg that they place in incubators during this event period is going to have a half egg hatch distance. And then there's also going to be a timed research that's going to be available to players in this region, which is going to award you with experience, Stardust, and lucky eggs. And then you'll be able to get the move Force Palm when you evolve Riolu into Lucario. And then there's going to be special field research tasks that's going to award you with encounters with Tandemaus as well as Wimpod candy. And then finally, there's going to be a paid timed research that's going to be available to everyone for $4.99 USD. The paid timed research is going to award you with 1 incubator, 3,000 Stardust, encounters with event-themed Pokemon like Magikarp, Swablu, Lucario, Wimpod, and Tandemaus, and then you're also going to get an event-themed avatar pose. And just like with every in-game event, there's going to be field research tasks, Pokestop showcases, as well as collection challenges themed around this event. Be on the lookout for those because they often give you some decent rewards. Now, I mentioned at the top of this video that we are going to have access to a regional Pokemon that's only available to a small portion of the world, and I'm of course talking about Kangaskhan. This is a regional Pokemon that is only available in Australia, which means if you do not live in Australia, you probably do not have this Pokemon, unless you're a longtime player and you've had it from raid battles in the past. But yeah, Kangaskhan is going to be available in raid battles throughout the entire world, and it's going to be through a Mega Kangaskhan Raid Day. We need to go over the details for this event so that you do not miss out on this regional Pokemon. Mega Kangaskhan Raid Day is going to be happening Saturday, May 3rd from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time. It's been a couple of years since we've last had Mega Kangaskhan as a raid day, so if you still do not have Kangaskhan or Mega Kangaskhan in your Pokedex, then this is definitely an event you do not want to miss out on. Now, on top of this event, you're also going to be able to get a brand new attack on any Kangaskhan that you catch. It's going to know the attack Stomp, which is actually a legacy move for this Pokemon. Unfortunately, it's not necessarily going to be a game-breaking move. It's not going to improve Mega Kangaskhan to the point where it's going to be meta, but it is nice that it is coming with some sort of legacy move for you to collect. The move is going to be Stomp, and it deals 55 damage in trainer battles, and then in raids and gyms it deals 50 damage. Now, considering this is a raid day, we're going to see the very typical bonuses for raid days. The remote raid pass limit is going to be increased to 20 from Friday, May 2nd until Saturday, May 3rd, and then you're going to receive up to 5 additional free raid passes when you spin gym photo discs. And then you're going to have an increased chance of encountering shiny Kangaskhan from mega raids, and the rate is actually pretty high. So if you want to get yourself a shiny Kangaskhan and that's something you still do not have, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to get it. Now, also considering that this is a typical raid day, there's also going to be an event ticket, and it's going to cost $4.99 USD, and it's going to give you 8 additional raid passes from spinning gym photo discs, and then you're going to have an increased chance to get Rare Candy XL from raid battles, and then you're going to get 50% more experience from raids, as well as double the amount of Stardust. These bonuses will be effective starting on Saturday, May 3rd from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time, so that means you will want to buy this ticket before the raid day starts and make sure you complete as many raids as you can to get the most value out of it. Now, during this event, there's also going to be a free timed research, and this research is going to award you with 10,000 Stardust, 1,000 additional Stardust when you complete a raid battle, and then also a whole bunch of other bonuses. Alright, next let's switch gears and talk about what's going to be happening this Tuesday during Spotlight Hour. So, this Tuesday, April 29th from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. local time, we're going to have a Spotlight Hour featuring the Pokemon Abra, and you're going to get double the amount of experience when you catch Pokemon. It's not necessarily going to be a high priority Spotlight Hour, but if you need experience, then it might actually be pretty decent to farm up those Abras. Just make sure you're getting as many Curveball X-Run throws as you can. Next up, let's talk about the raiding content. So, in 5-star legendary raids until May 1st, we're going to have Cresselia continue to be in 5-star legendary raids, and that means this Wednesday's raid hour, which is going to be happening from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. local time, we're going to have one featuring Cresselia. Now, after May 1st, we're going to have Tapu Fini in raids, and Tapu Fini that you catch is going to know Nature's Madness. Next up, let's talk about the Mega Evolution raids. So until May 1st, we're going to have Mega Mawile, and then after May 1st, we're going to have Mega Houndoom. Both of these are pretty decent Mega Evolutions, although they do get outclassed by other Mega Evolutions, namely Mega Tyranitar, but if you do not have Mega Tyranitar, then these are great second options. So yeah, you should definitely farm up the Mega Energy for either of them, especially if you do not have the Pokedex entries. And then let's talk about Shadow Legendary Raids. Considering that we're going to be moving into the month of May during this week, we're actually going to see a change up in the 5-star Legendary Raids on the weekend. It's going to be featuring the Pokemon Shadow Regirock instead of Shadow Registeel, so if you need Shadow Registeel, unfortunately it's not going to be available. However, Shadow Regirock is still pretty decent for certain circumstances, so yeah, this one might be worth going after, but do not waste your raid passes on trying to get multiples of them. But if you want at least one, then make sure you get a group of friends together and raid it on the weekends. And then in terms of Max Battle content, we're going to have a Max Monday tonight from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. local time, featuring the Pokemon Phalanx. And this is actually a very difficult Max Battle, so do not go into it thinking you're just going to steamroll it. You will need some top-notch Dynamax Pokemon to take it down, and possibly some other trainers as well. And then in terms of what's going to be available in Max Battles, we're going to have Charmander, Pidove, Cryogonal, Wooloo, and Phalanx. So if you want any of these Pokemon, make sure you're on the lookout for these particular Max Battles. And then let's close this off by talking about what's going to be happening in terms of PvP. So until April 29th, which is this Tuesday, we're going to have the continuation of all three of the basic cups, the Great League, the Ultra League, and the Master League. But then afterwards, we're going to go into the Open Great League, and we're also going to get the Great League Remix. If you have any really good teams for any of these cups, you should definitely try to get as many ranks as possible, because the season is going to be ending pretty soon. So yeah, this week is definitely filled with a lot of really good content. Again, the Growing Up event is likely going to be one of the better events of the year. And then of course, the Mega Kangaskhan Raid Day, which I think is going to be extremely important. Even if you already have Kangaskhan, you should still go after Mega Kangaskhan, because considering this is a raid day, you're gonna have a boosted shiny rate. And this is one of those Pokemon that, unless you live in Australia, it's basically going to be one of your only chances to get this shiny Pokemon, as well as the Mega Energy if you do not have Mega Kangaskhan registered in your Pokedex. So yeah, it's very important. I do think this is one you should not skip. And of course, there's just a lot of really good content going on in Pokemon Go right now. The raid bosses are pretty good, the Spotlight Hour and everything else. It's just a lot of fun stuff for us to do. And yeah, I do think this is going to be a pretty solid week, and I am looking forward to it. So yeah, with all that said, that's going to be it for this video. Definitely share your thoughts regarding this week down below. Is there anything in particular that you are looking forward to, or do you feel like this is actually a pretty lame week and you have very specific reasons why you think that? Definitely share what those reasons are in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget the notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Real quick, let me give a shout out to every single one of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids, the friendship system, opening and sending gifts. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me on the daily, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you're always welcome to do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. And with all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you all later.